Hi, I've been asked to talk to you about diagnosis. I'm Nicola Nicola Lee as I like to call myself now. And I've been doing shiatsu since 1978, so I've done a lot of diagnosis over the years. And the way I do it has shifted. So when I started, it was pick a meridian, any meridian. And I would guess from what people were wearing, from the 5 elements, from the stories they told, and I was literally guessing for the first few years I was doing shiatsu. And this is okay. You can do that too. It's absolutely an okay way to work. No one in class says, "Ooh, I don't want that meridian worked." No one gets told by their acupuncturist, "Do not let anyone do shiatsu on this meridian." Because when we do the shiatsu, you work intuitively, you work with what's going on in the meridian, you do the best you can for that meridian. And it's okay. It's an okay way to work. Secondly, coming to terms with the Kyojitsu reaction is a really great thing for a shiatsu practitioner to have that Kyojitsu reaction. It's the reaction between the most kyo, the hidden, the sort of hiding meridian, which is a bit like the empty meridian, not the same. The Jitsu meridian, the most shouty, the most lively, and again, a bit like a fullness, but not the same. So someone might have spleen empty. So you might have the same meridian, spleen kyo, as the diagnosis. You might not. Their meridian diagnosis might be lung kyo, heart protected jitsu. And in that case, you'd work that, even though the spleen emptiness is going on in the background. The Kyojitsu reaction gives you the most appropriate place to work, particularly with shiatsu. And the term was invented by Masanaga sensei as a way, particularly to say that. The sort of empty meridian that reacts with the sort of full meridian, but he wanted a word that was different because it's not the same as in spleen empty or spleen deficiency or any other one. Thirdly, the etheric diagnosis. So these days I work much more with the central channels. So using the central channels, I'm connecting to the energy that comes from the universe, heaven and earth, that comes into the body. And this energy goes beyond the Kyojitsu reaction, goes into the non-dual nature of chi, the non-dual energy, the energy from beyond time and space, all things that are really hard to say, but we connect to that energy and we only need one meridian. So we're back to pick a meridian, any meridian, but I use an etheric diagnosis. I'm looking into the hara with my hand, finding the meridian that is most appropriate to work in that way. And it may well be the Kyo meridian. It may well be the meridian that relates to the Chinese diagnosis as well, the empty meridian. And all three might be different. It just depends what's happening for that person. So if you want to practice that, and especially if you're using more etheric work, which doesn't necessarily mean off the body, but it can include that. So when we're doing something that connects to the whole energy of the person, all the Shen as well as the meridian energy, we might want to use the single meridian. And again, we just go around the body, the same as you would with the Kyojitsu diagnosis. And it's almost as though the central channels are stepping in as the partner to that single meridian. So there's 3 types of diagnosis, and they blend into one another. And I still use all 3. Mostly I use one meridian that I get from doing my etheric diagnosis. If someone comes with a very physical symptoms, I will do a Kyojitsu reaction, and I'll certainly do a Kyojitsu reaction in the place where they have their physical going on, so the shoulder or the hip or whatever. And sometimes, even now, I just go, I have no idea. I'm going to guess this. It happens to all of us. The last thing I want to say is the reaction between the client and the receiver also has an impact on the diagnosis. So you doing a treatment will not get the same diagnosis as me doing a treatment on that person. And you know this as a client, so you choose to have shiatsu of somebody because you've got an achy shoulder, you choose to have shiatsu of someone else because you're feeling that you need to address a more spiritual aspect or an emotional aspect. Different people suit different aspects of your energy. So we must be aware of that as a giver of shiatsu. So sometimes we have people that really love doing the body work, and sometimes we have people who like connecting to the etheric. And you all will have a sort of place within the energy, different vibrations of energy that you like to work. So go for those. So don't worry about it. The most important thing is not to worry about it, to use your intuition, to work the meridian most appropriately in that very moment. And if you suddenly go, I have no idea what I'm doing right now, just to follow it, let that be what's happening, and then pick up a diagnosis as you get towards the end of that limb or you start a new bit. Just enjoy your shiatsu. I hope that's useful. Okay.